On this episode of LARP Chats, I'll be interviewing Merric. At the time of this recording, they play out of Blade's Edge, an Amtgard group in Port Orchard, Washington. This season of LARP Chats focuses on legacy. In this episode, you'll hear about the influence Merric's mentors have had on him and what he'd like to impart on those he has and wants to mentor in the future. We also talk about Amtgard traditions, specifically one in which people take the last name of those people who are important to them. He also talks a bit about Amtgard archery and how it differs from real archery. Please consider hitting the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more LARP content. And now on to the episode. Hello, welcome to LARP Chats. Today we have Merric playing out of Blade's Edge of Port Orchard, of the game Amtgard. He's been playing for about 6 years?
Yeah.
What age did you start?
Oh, when I started, I was 14, but I'm 20 now, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you first started playing, who was it that influenced you, and what lessons did they impart on you?
When I first started playing, my main mentor was Theos. He's basically been the person holding Blade's Edge together, and he's been Monarch several times, and he's never given up on Blade's Edge, and that's probably one of the lessons I've learned from him. Never give up on what you believe in is mainly it, and also he's also helped me a lot with fighting. He knows a lot of fighting techniques, like range control and stuff. I'm not as much of a stick jock, but I'd still like to fight him every once in a while. I'm more into the battle games, and then my other mentor later into the sport was probably Wiga, because he belted me. I'm his man-at-arms now. And we play a lot of the same board games, and we also both like archery. So we were our goals in the sport are very similar. He's kind of an older guy, but he has a lot of energy that I like.
Yes, we actually interviewed Wiga. Did you get it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, and for all you watching at home, if you look at the LARP Chats, I'll probably link it in the description just because. But we interviewed Wiga last year, one of his mentors, his man-at-arms.
Yeah, my squad.
Oh, he squared your man-at-arms.
I'm man-at-arms,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So have you found yourself in the mentor role, and what kind of lessons have you imparted, if you have?
Yeah, so there's this player called Dice that recently joined Blade's Edge, and I've been trying to mentor him with because he plays Assassin, and Assassin was my first class, so I'm trying to give him tips on that. He also said he wanted to be teaching archery, and also one of my goals in LARP is to get better at playing Druid. So I would want to master that, and after a while teach people how to play Druid and other classes, and also archery too.
How long have you been doing archery?
I did actual archery when I was really young, maybe 10 years old, and before camping out. And I really liked it. And then when I got into Amtgard, I was like, oh, this is really cool. You actually get to shoot people. Yeah.
Did any of the things that you learned at archery transfer to archery in Amtgard?
Yeah, a little bit. When I first started playing archery, I shot normally, on the left side of the bow. But then when I moved to Amtgard, I found it easier to shoot on the right side of the bow with the thumb, whether you have your thumb out holding the arrow. And so you can load faster. And I hold 3 or 4 arrows in my hand, in this hand, and then I shoot them one after the other. So and then you can do it faster. And also, but not too much transfers, because it's very different shooting an arrow normally than shooting an Amtgard arrow, because of the weight difference.
Oh yeah, the heavy head. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a learning curve, but yeah, it's still very fun.
Is there any advice that you've received that really has stuck with you?
For my high school, I interviewed some of my park members, and one piece that someone said was, if you're going to lose a lot, and even the best players lose a lot, and to not beat yourself up over it. And you may have lost a lot, but the more experienced players have lost even more than you have. And so you got to really have a growth mindset and not feel so bad when you lose, and just have fun.
Yeah, that's a very positive lesson to learn.
Yeah.
What customs or traditions that you've encountered in the game do you really like and cherish?
I think the custom of taking someone's last name is cool. I'm Merric Identicos. I took Theos's last name. He's Theos Identicos. And that was really cool, because now I'm kind of in 2 families. I'm in my belted family with Wiga, and I'm in the Identicos family with Theos, Ren, and Saren, who have all been mentors to me. Ren actually made my belt, which is a Celtic weave.
Oh, that's nice.
He got into belt making, and that's really cool. because my character's like a Celtic druid, so it fits really well.
What is the importance behind taking someone's last name?
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. Basically, it shows that you're in the sport together. You're brothers, basically brothers in the sport, and it's a sign that you're gonna help each other and be a family, basically.
That's a nice sentiment.
Yeah.
Are there any stories that you've heard in Amtgard that have been passed down that you may not have been around for when they happened?
Yeah, I've heard like the classics of like someone single-handedly taking out an entire camp, or like poisoning people, or poisoning or assassinating like the queen. Those are really fun stories. I don't really know about any specific stories. I can't really think of any specifics, but I've heard of the grand tales of like campouts of long past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So with your time in Amtgard, is there anything that you're proud of that you've accomplished since you started playing the game?
Yeah, at my first camp out, I participated in a battle game tournament, and our team didn't win, but we got to the finals, and I was enchanting like crazy. So they gave me the rookie star, which is like the best person that was like new to the game. So that was really cool. I still have that hung up in my room. And then my second camp out, I also did a juggling tournament, and we ended up winning that.
Oh,
and I was the sword and board position in the juggling tournament. I don't usually fight sword and board, so I was pretty proud of myself that I was able to put pressure on the enemy and win.
Yeah, juggling can be a hard and competitive game sometimes.
Yeah, I've only played once, but
well, you did good. You don't need to play it again. You won.
That's true. Yeah.
So what traditions in the game do you like, cherish, or really embrace?
As far as traditions, I've been playing for 6 years, but I've only been going to campouts and like involved in other parks for like 2 years. So I don't really have we have some Blades Edge traditions like the kangaroo courts, and we'll put people on trial for like basically no reason and just have them like fight it out. Like I was on trial, I was basically defending somebody else because they did something like, and they were like joking or something, and I was like that you shouldn't put them on trial, and then they put me on trial, and then I kept running away from court and like trying to freeze people with my ice balls, and then like they had me fight, but I was at a disadvantage because I ran away so much time. So I had a dagger, and they had a short sword, and I killed them twice, and I won the fight.
Oh, nice.
And so I was deemed innocent.
Do you know where that tradition started?
I think it just started with like it as a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What the best traditions do.
Yeah. But then it was so much fun that we just had to like randomly put people on trial for basically no reason, and then like have them fight it out, or other things. Like one time, there was this huge plot to poison Theos, who was the monarch at the time, and Rin was in on it, and he ratted us out to Theos, and so Theos knew about it beforehand. And I supplied the poison. Someone else was put the poison on the bottle. It was the whole thing. And so our punishment, it was discovered immediately. We didn't even use the right sticker. We used the green sticker instead of a black sticker.
Oh.
Yeah, and then our punishment was the 3 people who were involved had to drink water, and one of them was poisoned, or 2 of them were poisoned, one of them weren't poisoned. And we both died, and we had to and none of our park could resurrect people, so we had to wait till the next camp out to get resurrected.
Oh wow, that's some dedication to the bit.
Yeah.
Are there any stories that you've heard that were given to you that have been passed down that were before you started playing?
The Krat running this event, Zedekiah, I was talking to him a few camp outs ago, and he had this story that we like sneaked into a camp out and like massacred the entire camp out. Yeah, the entire camp, and so that was really cool, and maybe it's embellished a little bit, but
that's par for the course.
Yeah, but I love stories like that like they're single-handedly taking on an entire group, or you're like poisoning someone at the exact right moment without them realizing it, or just funny stories that like you try to do something and it goes into a catastrophe, and you get found out. Like, well, it's something to laugh about.
So in your time in the game, what have you done that you're really proud to have accomplished or contributed to through the 6 years that you've been playing?
Yeah, I'm really proud of my contributions in like graphic design, because I got most of my Orders of the Dragon. I got 7 orders, basically just for designing like the Blade's Edge heraldry was my first one, and then I went through and designed all of the Amtgard award templates, and I entered that in a contest, and like half of the standard Northern Lights award templates right now are my designs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I had lots of fun doing it because I'm really good like with graphic design and like computer art and stuff. I'm actually going to an art school right now, but.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A little bit of extra knowledge to help out.
I'm kind of stuck at 7 Orders of the Dragon, though. I want to get more. I haven't been entering in Dragon Masters, though, because I've been so busy, but I want to try and enter in more of those.
Yeah, it can be hard to climb the ladder sometimes.
Yeah, I think Uyghur was saying that in his interview.
Especially when you get to around the last 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been stuck in that range for a very long time myself.
Yeah.
So I understand the pain. Oops. Don't want to knock that off.
Yeah.
So that has been our interview with Merric. I'd like to thank him for joining us on LARP Chats.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And as always, stay inspired, stay excited, and keep fighting.
Viva Amtgard!